now. So we're on session 3, part 3, technically, of late fees. We're going to quickly recap part 2 because I lost the player audio of part 2, so there's just me talking, and I don't intend to upload that because that's new levels of narcissism. It is the 27th of June, 2018, as I said, late fees part 3 players.
I'm Clare, and I play the Elven.
The
I've
elephant.
done that twice now. The Elven Ranger called Elphdara, who has a hawk called Thorn.
My name is Haley. I play the character Jonan Gudmundr, an ex-stonemason turned adventurer, fighter, level 1.
I am Ross, and I play Willy Williams, the short cleric who doesn't like grills.
I love how it's going to be like a new comment about Willy's preferences just as time goes on every session. I don't like grills, why? Because I had to barbecue today. Oh, I can't remember what it was.
Willy may have had to barbecue as well. You don't know what happens behind the scenes when
Willy
the cameras
has been
Maybe-
part of a barbecue. Because we lost the audio though for part 2, we're going to just obviously humorously recap part 2, or perhaps seriously recap it. I don't really know how these are feeling.
I mean, I feel like humorously is like asking a lot here because
Yeah.
I'm not the funniest person.
Well, girls are funny.
She's not all
What?
girls though.
Just in general, like, haha, girls, haha.
Girls are funny too, Cat.
It was a South Park reference, which might have been too obscure.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of South Park. I've seen the movie. I've also seen the one about World of Warcraft, but this has nothing to do with RP.
This
Okay.
is true.
Last time on late fees.
So at the end of session 1 that we have recorded, you had just received some information, useful or otherwise, from the High Enchanter and his, I guess, 30 years, past apprentice, first page, and you were deposited magically outside the palace walls. What did you do
Wait.
next?
Well, we went with our list of book names to Black Book, the Black Bookshop.
Black books, yes.
Yes, with good old Bernadette,
Yep.
who helped us out somewhat.
Bernadette was lovely.
And I believe Willy was spreading the good word while in there.
Stuffing books with pamphlets on
Yes.
Bernadette did not appreciate this.
Oh, I think she'll learn to appreciate it when she can sell the books when people go to buy them.
Jonan picked up a bag of books with the help of Elphdara. We spoke a little bit about our literature tastes.
We bonded.
We
It was
did,
nice.
we bonded. That was nice. It was like a sweet bookshop scene. I was sort of leaning over with like the bicep sort of leaned against the shelf. I'm like, so what books are you into, Elphdara?
And Elphdara probably blushed a little bit.
And then we went to the book place. We learned about the tall, mysterious man who brought 2 of the books with him into the store.
Indeed.
And Bernadette did not buy the books because Incendios burned her table and she didn't want it being around her bookshop.
Yep. Incendious Insights is a risky book to have, needless to say. So you learned a bit about that. You bought your bag of books, and then I believe you headed to, the General Tavern, as you had named, the Great Cock.
Yes, the Great Cock.
Pub.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Willy, tell us what happened there.
I'll tell you what didn't happen.
Okay.
People did not come to the way of Carlos. Instead, he was basically just laughed. Not laughed, looked out of the place. And he was pretty down.
He did stand on a table and start preaching in a tavern.
Yeah, that was how that was
Yeah.
omitted so far.
People began to come over with the words of ale and food, I believe, from the other party members, and in that moment, Willy decided to preach, and everyone returned back to their own tables.
For that affair, I've written that dwarves can be arseholes. And I cheered up William because I read his paper preachings. A little scroll.
I think, like any religion out of the norm, it's going to take. As soon as one person comes along, I mean, well, not that Willy's the only member of the church, but they all live in this city in the clouds, and
It sounds so much like Scientology, doesn't it? The more you talk about it.
I'm sure someone will come around.
Outside of the pub we met, first page, out getting some sunshine.
Yep, and he only spoke to Elphdara, probably because he's racist like that, and he thinks elves are the only people who know what they're talking about.
He actually spoke to Willy, but Willy ignored him.
Yeah, but he was kind of condescending towards Willy.
Willy was
Willy
casting a spell
thought
on him.
he was up to something, right? Willy doesn't trust first page.
We
Quite
learned.
rightly so, because he's an elf.
Oh my god, racism.
How dare you?
How very dare you?
I am a fence. Not a fence, just offense.
And he kindly pointed us in the direction of, or he let us know that the slums were on fire. So, and I've written that we go to them.
Yes.
Yeah, we go to slum. Willy
slum.
spoke to the stone, as
Yes.
all good dwarves do, and he got answer, and that led us
Oh,
to some destroyed, ruinous slum
Yep.
house.
A slum house that had been burnt
House.
down, and Elphdara found a hatch, which she opened, and then a shadow came out and hurt her. But she
They-
did roly-polies to get away.
I was
Lots of
on the
roller-
top floor and I did a hero drop onto the ground floor when that happened.
Biceps
Pretty cool.
everywhere. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah. I like punched the ground as I landed, and then like looked up with like a smouldering sort of, slightly ashy, serious.
The Bruce Willis, why am I
Expression.
still doing this shit? Look.
Yeah, maybe with a hair flick as well.
And then-
are you okay?
See, here, I imagine Jonan being bald.
No,
Everyone else.
No, he's
Yeah,
got, like,
weirdly,
sandy-
me too,
sandy
but
blonde
yeah.
hair.
I just think of Bruce Willis in Die
Yeah.
Hard, though.
Me too.
he's got some pretty nicer.
Do you
Yeah.
like?
I imagine his hair being pretty beautiful.
Do you like?
When it catches, it's sort of ashy blonde. When it
Yeah.
catches the sun. It's sort of been it's stayed light and
Like a clean
because
shaven
of all his
Major
time
Armstrong.
outside.
It-
Yeah. It's clean shaven. He keeps his face shaved.
Is he a Nicolas Cage in Con Air?
Mm,
No one is.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
left run down.
I like
Anyway.
to think.
Sorry, Nicolas Cage, if you're listening.
Hi, Nick.
I know.
No,
gonna fight
Smash that like
Declaration of
button, Nick.
Independence.
smash it. Get it.
Like
smash.
and subscribe, Nicolas Cage.
Get it smashed.
Also,
But
Vin
yeah,
Diesel, if you're
so
listening, you're welcome to Trails of
we-
Triumph as well.
We were fighting humanoid book things. Turns out the magic books had decided to take on some kind of crazy, weird, magical humanoid-esque form.
Have you said humanoid
and-
enough now?
They started fighting us, and I did a roly-poly and fell down the hatch on top of Jonan, and
You both blushed.
we did. We blushed in the darkness.
Blushed in the darkness should have been the session
Jonan's
title.
nose exploded.
Blushed in
with
the darkness. That's perfect.
Oh,
Is that the episode name?
it should be,
Yeah,
yeah.
it has to be. It has to be.
Yeah,
The
that
lost
was
episode name, you
the
mean?
lost. Yeah, the lost episode.
That's amazing.
We got ourselves into a troubling situation. I think everyone's a little bit
Elphdara,
sore.
yeah, we're a bit hurt. Elphdara's probably gonna die. She's at 2 HP. We'll see
think-
how that goes.
So let's do that just now. Like 2 out of what HP?
2 out of 21.
And what about you, Jonan?
I'm at 11 out of 25, but I've just declared
A thumb war?
war on these critters after trying to reach like a
You mean humanoid, surely?
critters.
Also, what about you, Willy? What are we looking at health-wise?
14 out of 23.
Okay, so yeah, Elphdara is pretty bad.
Yep.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm a mess.
Pretty hecked up.
Right, so
Heck to heck.
to finish up what happened in part 2 that we're missing, you were attacked by shadows, you did your roly-polies. The reason for all of this is because obviously the humanoid-shaped book things with kind of books for faces that are opened. You're looking at the spine of the book. They're all in weird cloak things and they're fluttering pages. Their body's made up of all these fluttering pages. They speak to each other by sharing ink as like weird letters that fly between each of their pages. None of them actually say anything. Yeah, beyond that I'm trying to think of anything else that might come up, but no, I think that's... Have we anything else to mention still? I think we're good.
As we ended, I believe Willy crouched down and was for once sincere to Elphdara and tried to help her, but his spell came to no avail.
Alas. Also, weirdly, look at our online list. Dear God, that's a lot of adventurers. Where did they all come from? Crazy.
Why have we met none of the others?
Exactly right. In 3 sessions.
They all exist in the world.
Oh, I can't wait to find out what they do while the slums are burning.
The slums are
Maybe
burning.
they're living in the slums and their characters are just all dead.
Imagine the other quest, like husband missing, is 3 people have to dress up as books. That'd be so good.
It has been said it is now canon.
Oh, imagine I was writing that where it was just every party against every other party, and until people realised, I just kept it going. Oh, it was so good.
Anyway.
Yes, I think that's us caught up. That's part 2 done. Part 3, shall we get started? Good. So, the last thing that happened was a failure on the rolling of healing. There was a bit of a calamity. I forget the specifics other than there was damage done. And I think we're just going to open with, who wants to go? What are you doing? You're still faced by 3 books.
Before anyone does anything, I would like to, I think I said the last time, but maybe I didn't word it correctly, but position myself between the enemies and my companions.
That sounds like you're going to defend.
If you think so.
Yes. Would you like to type up
Yeah.
what you're going to do and then roll?
What is a roll for a defend?
Right, so if you refer to your little sheet, your cheat sheet, when you
Yep.
stand in defense of a person, item, or location under attack, roll plus con. So let's do that. Oh.
I was like, oh, this is what I'm good at. No.
It's
No, it's not.
not not today, but maybe you're a bit distracted because obviously there's been fireballs, shadow bolts, there's things that teleport around, people were wearing cloaks, there's a lot of paper cuts. Like, it's not a great day. It's like an elf fell on you earlier. Like, normally that's a great thing, but no. So yeah, let's see.
XP?
Do you want to mark XP and type that there? Marked XP or something? Good. So, as long as you've tracked that, we know that one's been logged. You might be leveling up. Yeah. I think you just stand there, and I think I'll decide what happens when an appropriate move presents itself, because I feel like failing to defend means I don't really want to be forced to attack. I want to see what the rest of you guys do in this particular moment, because I did my last moves. So at this point I'm going to leave you hanging on that just now. So the GM's taking hold 1. What about you, Willy or Elphdara? What's happening?
I think Willy will put the fail down to a sort of lack of faith, which was disturbing. And
Your
he
lack of
is going to
references is
hunker.
disturbing.
He hunkers down. He puts it down to him being sort of discouraged in his endeavor, like his efforts earlier in trying to preach, and he sort of sets a little prayer to Carlos, closes his eyes for a brief moment, and just thinks of the city in the clouds and the fluttering blue and gold and
Of the cloak on a windy day.
yes, inside, and yeah, they have wind
Always.
machines in there.
Yeah, just always flutters. It's actually like really uncomfortable when you're sitting down, but
Somebody left a window open.
they've been enchanted with
mistake.
drama.
A stainless window. A stainless
windows.
window.
Damn these
and-
stainless windows.
He is. He raises his fist up and he's going to attempt to heal Elphdara again.
That's awfully good of you. Do you want to type that up? Healing Elphdara. Also, I just really love, I think my favourite thing so far I've ad-libbed is stainless windows. I think that might be my favourite thing I've ever thought of. The stainless windows of the city in the clouds.
Which is plus with.
Yup.
Do you want me to roll first or click the spell first? What did we decide?
Just roll cast a spell first, I think is best.
Okay.
Because I think that does make sense, that order. And then click the spell itself. Right, so that's the way I think that Clare said would have made more sense to her last time. Because we did it the other way round, which I think the roll on the
Yeah.
spell confuser, because that's the
Well, I think-
healing you receive.
For
The
spells, it
successful.
probably makes more sense doing it that way because you don't really need to read the spell if nothing.
To be honest
happens.
as well, we should probably make the move cast a spell. We should probably just make it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually put it on the people that need to use it. Because it does make sense to actually have the button cast a spell, right? Even though it is just the...
Rolling of wisdom.
we could put up the
essentially.
options though, so it does it automatically. Which would be quite nice. Right, so... You know what time it is though, don't you?
Yes.
So, talk to me.
So, on a.
So you've got the choice of you draw unwelcome attention or put yourself in a spot. Your casting distance you from your deity and take a -1 ongoing till the next time you commune. Or after you cast it, the spell is revoked by your deity. You cannot cast the spell again until you commune and have it granted to you.
I think I'm going to go with that third one because I imagine Carlos being
want to-
busy with like the ladies or something up in the city in the clouds, and that this like Willy's bothering him.
Now, I'm
And
not
he
known
just,
for
like-
being a strict GM, okay? But I feel like maybe we're still in the... This is the first quest we've done. And your choice when you know one of your companions is on 2 health, and you're
Well-
only giving them 6 back, and your choice is to lose your only healing spell.
Right. Okay, that makes more
Just
sense.
as a bit of
Let's-
quiet reflection from Carlos.
Okay, let's go for a draw and welcome attention because I sat in the one spot for some time.
Yeah, okay. I think it's a better with that or the distancing purely for the fact that I feel like Elphdara really wants you to be able to keep healing. Or at least
You might.
I
You gotta
do-
believe. You gotta believe in Carlos if you
No-
want
no
heals,
pressure.
Elphdara.
No pressure.
You gotta
Um,
believe in Carlos.
no pressure,
No.
like on these wounds that I'm bleeding out of.
Oh, he's
Um,
definitely putting
just
dwarven
coughs up blood
pressure
a
on
little
them.
bit.
Oh my.
Whew.
What does that even mean, Willy?
He's using his like.
Willy is putting dwarven pressure.
Well, yeah, he's got very
I don't
strong
want
fingers.
Willy's dwarven pressure.
Oh my god.
I never asked
Oh.
for this.
Oh,
dear.
bleed out then.
Do you want to type? Do you want
Um,
to type that you heal for 6? By the way, Elphdara?
Okay.
Because you
cool.
heal for 6.
I will take this opportunity for Elphdara to react to that.
Sure, but I'm gonna just type that in. That's the one you picked. For that, heals for 6. Depending what you're going to do, I need to react to the fact that he put himself in a spot. So, what was your reaction? And I'll decide if mine goes before.
I was literally just gonna, like, as I start to feel better, like, kind of put my hand on Willy's shoulder and just say, maybe there's something to that. The city in the clouds.
I would like you to defy danger, Willy. Yeah. So, obviously, there is that weird gust of air very briefly behind you again, as, you know, perhaps the Blink book has appeared again.
Okay.
It's going to swipe some papery sword shapes at you.
Quick beforehand, Elphdara would have definitely heard the prayers to Carlos that he was muttering. If I can add that. I think for this one, this is an okay one to use through Will, because he's in like a god state where he's putting everything to Carlos.
No, this is definitely a physical thing.
God damn. Okay, he's
Indeed.
just gonna. God, you got some nerve.
You got some nerve.
He will just take it like something hitting a wall. He is going to con it out.
Cool. Do you want to type defy or whatever, and then... Is it worth having a defy danger move, do you think, as well? No, because there's too many variables, isn't there? Too many variables. Yeah, not bad. So, you know what's coming. Worse outcome, hard bargain, ugly choice.
I think with the current situation, I'll go with worse outcome.
Okay.
Because I think that otherwise somebody else could get hurt.
I mean,
maybe.
You have asked for a worse outcome, so...
Well, presumably that's to do with me, or nah? Nah?
So, I think what happens is... you obviously feel that slight gust behind you. Maybe you turn round to face it and endure, because obviously you're going to just be a tough dwarf and just con through this, right?
Yep.
You see the book kind of forming its kind of weird, kind of almost like a kind of mallet out of all the pages, with both of its kind of, you know, arms. They kind of fold into one, and all the pages rush up into like a mallet head and smack you as you put like both of your hands up to block, and then it smacks you very hard to the point where you don't take damage from the hit, but the floor gives way beneath you.
Oh.
You and Elphdara both now. Willy, you take no damage from this, because obviously you've done that, but I need you now both to defy danger from being, I guess, plummeted through the hole in the floor.
I'm gonna roll Dex.
I figured you might.
But it's gonna be like parkour roll. So like rolling as I hit the ground so I don't hurt myself.
Yeah, like trying to like absorb the fall type thing.
Yeah. Exactly as you would do it in parkour.
Willy is not the fastest, so he's just gonna
1 second, guys.
assume...
I want to just put a worse outcome just to track us a bit more. There we go. Cool. And then
he's just gonna assume the fetal position and hope that his head doesn't get bashed in by something.
So are you gonna just do con again?
I'm just gonna roll my Dex.
Yeah, if you want to do yours first, Elphdara. And let's resolve that one first then. They're technically happening simultaneously, but we'll just resolve Elphdara so it's done. Oh, you know what's coming up, don't you?
Yup.
Willy, you went too fast. How dare you?
Too fast! Too fast!
Oh.
Yeah. Remember the typing what you want to do first and then the clicking?
Yep, yeah, I had it.
So I'm
Semi-typed.
gonna just ignore that rule, based on that, and you're gonna type what you do first, and then we're gonna take the results. This is session 3 after all. But I'm gonna resolve Elphdara first, as I said. So, what are you picking?
We'll go with the choice.
Okay, yeah, ugly choice.
How ugly is it though?
That's the thing. How ugly do we make this? Because does this just become the infinite defying danger rolling, right? So the ugly choice is you can, as you're falling, you spot that if you like hit off, some of the broken stairs that Jonan fell through earlier, that's fine. You'll manage to land without taking damage yourself. However, by doing so, that means that you will make sure and guarantee Willy takes falling damage from some of the debris that you'll be dodging, because you won't be breaking it.
Otherwise, I can fall and take damage.
Yeah. So you either don't take damage and Willy will take it, or you take damage.
How much health have you got, Willy?
14.
Yeah, he can take the damage.
Okay, cool. So you are safe. Willy, do you want
Sorry.
to roll your con for your defying danger first? Okay. It's going to be the same result, regardless of the previous one. Right. Worst outcome, hard bargain, ugly choice. Either way, you're going to be taking a d6 from the falling damage that
Hard
Elphdara
bargain.
gave you.
Hard bargain.
A hard bargain. Okay, you could, let's see. How does hard bargain even play into this? Cool, you could grab the floorboards on the way down and pull Jonan with you. There you go.
Or
And that would stop you taking the falling damage from all of it. But Jonan would end up falling over you.
I feel like this has stopped being a fight.
the book people
Quick,
are
to the
just
basement!
like looking at each other like
These guys
What?
are fucking useless. Oh, I love that though, because then Jonan will have to define danger.
So,
Haley's just looking straight ahead and not very pleased right now.
what's Willy gonna do? Is he gonna take his d6 falling damage, and then, I'm probably gonna add 2 to it just because it's on you, or you grab hold of the floorboards that Willy's on, that Jonan's on, and as you land, it pulls Jonan in.
God, I don't know.
It's on you, man.
It's too hard of a choice.
It is actually horrible. I mean, I'm the GM that has to come up with this nonsense, but I mean,
I'm rolling an IRL dice
oh
up
my.
for an odd and even roll. Odds I drag Jonan with me, even I fall. And it was a 6. What was it, Haley? 16? Can confirm. I just fall.
Okay, d6 plus 2. Take that damage.
Oh no, it's going to be a 6, I can just tell.
It would normally have just been a d6 had it just been fall damage, but yeah, this is...
It wasn't a
Cool.
6 though.
That's not bad. But that probably did
It's
hurt.
not good either.
You're at lower health than me at this point.
I think the scene of that is Willy maybe reaches out and then sees Jonan, and then just quickly clenches his fist as he falls, knowing that if he'd grabbed it, it probably would have pulled him in with you.
Yeah, he's a wise man.
Because it was a
despite
hard
beliefs.
bargain. It was the, I will take this and hope nothing bad happens out of it. Jonan, you probably know why your defend didn't work now. I don't really feel like I need to cover that much.
There's no one there to
Okay.
defend.
I think you go, ha!
We fell.
And then you hear all this crashing and crumpling noise behind you, and maybe you turn round and
Yeah.
notice that they are gone, and there's a big hole in the floor. And then next to
Don't
that hole
worry,
in the floor,
Elphdara. I will protect you and Willy. Elphdara. Willy. Guess I'm on my own now.
I think as you're saying that into the
I
hole,
can finally release my true power.
And I'm going to rewind ever so slightly. So as you're saying this to the hole in the floor, I think the blink book's just kind of looking with like its page hands at either side of it, just into the hole, and then it turns its like a book head and looks at you, and then looks back into the hole as if, huh?
Your opponent is me now. Leave my companions.
Okay.
And then I'll just sort of do a cool with my fists.
So you're moving away from the fire book and the casting shadows book,
Um,
because it is currently
I'm s-
you
I'm-
versus 3 books now. I think. I think
well,
you're in
if
the
that
middle.
one approached the
Well, remember it.
collapse in the floor
Remember
first.
it teleported behind Jonan and behind Willy, sorry, and then it smacked him with like a kind of page mallet as he smashed through the floor, and that's what caused them to fall through the floor. So it was just standing there looking down at the fact that they are now on the ground.
Yeah, the fire book seems the most aggressive, so I think I'll keep its attention for now since it's the first to attack.
That's pageist.
First pages.
Oh my, no, that was racist. That was. Okay, cool. Are you gonna go for a cheeky hack and slash? Are we?
Yeah, Viper Strike.
Right. Do you want to type me up some actions?
My bad.
Type me up inside. Write my name and type me. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna give up on that parody.
Seeing you're writing that, can you do Firebook as well?
Oh
Like,
yeah!
Just the target you're kind of aiming for, so I can, again, if we ever have to go back. Cool. And now, roll it again. There we go. It's a shame that the 11 and 12s don't always do something cooler, isn't it? It always feels like it should. Right, so, now your choice. Are you going to do extra damage, or are you just going to do damage? What's the thoughts, Jonan?
You know what? I'm fine with just doing my damage. I'm not going to take the additional.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Would you like to roll your damage for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
just roll that.
So,
Just your-
D10.
It's just there's a button for it on your sheet. Yep,
I
perfect.
think it's +1 as well, from having really gnarly knuckles.
It is because of your serrated edged hands.
The gnarly knuckles. It's the
Absolutely
gnarly
mad.
knuckles. He's got these like big sharp knuckles on his hand.
He's got a grafter's hands.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah, so that's technically 8, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. As you kind of, I don't know, do you want to describe how you defeat the book?
So like, after I finish saying, leave my companions, your opponent is me.
I'll grab like a fistful of paper, tear it up. It kind of like, I guess it distracts it for a moment, having its pages grabbed and torn, and then with the handful of its torn up pages, which is, I guess for this creature is kind of like its insides.
I mean, they're
Kind
also
of like
kind of
grabbing
like
them.
burning as you're holding them as well, so that's probably kind of dramatic as fuck.
Ah, sweet, yeah. So with like the burning pages in my hand with my fist on fire, parts of ash sort of just drifting up my forearm. With its own pages, I'm just going to uppercut through like the
I'm
base
glad you
of
said
the
it, because I
book
was going to
into the-
suggest uppercutting it, but yep, I'm glad you went there.
and into the spine. The spine of the
Mhm.
book just cracks under the force of my upwards strike.
I'm going to step in
Um,
here and then describe this
And
next
then
part
in
for
the
you.
last second,
Jonan,
just throw.
hold
Oh no!
back.
Fire in!
Hold up. I always wonder, am I too quiet on your audio? Is that what it is? Or am I on a weird delay?
No, it's just finishing moves get people
Ah.
really excited.
So, as you have finished your uppercut straight up to the spine of this, with obviously, I guess, maybe just collecting more pages as your punch continues. If it was an anime, it would do that slow motion, all the pages are being collected by the front of your fist as they're being torn by your serrated knuckles. And then, as soon as, obviously, mechanically, as soon as enough damage was done, but narratively, the book just pulses in that kind of weird orange shimmer all over it, and all of the pages flutter and pull straight into the book really fast. The book slams shut with a loud thud, and it just falls to the ground, and the cloak kind of just slowly kind of drifts to the ground as well, half covering the book. The other two books just kind of look at it in that kind of slightly tilted head manner, and then look back to you.
My fist sort of sweeps down from the strike, the ash sort of falling away from it, leaving like a trail of smoke that slowly dissipates, and I turn my gaze upwards to the next book, ready for it to come at me.
Excellent. Defy danger.
Dissipate is what I meant to say.
I know, it's fine.
What would you like me to roll for this?
Well, there
Happening.
is... The blink book has vanished. As soon as it... Obviously, you've posed yourself to obviously, like, come at me, double book bro. And then one of them's vanished, and the other one, the Casting Shadows, all the black inks formed another kind of bolt in the middle, like he's Kamehamehaing you with ink. But it's obviously shadowiness. And that's launching at you just now. So you've lost track of one book, and one other one's attacking you with a bolt of shadow.
Okay, just as a turn from the missing book back to this bolt, I'm going to try and get out of the way before it impacts.
So some Dexy action.
Yes.
1 second, guys. I'm back. Nice.
And Dex.
Oh, not bad. But, you know what that means. What's happening? We've got
Let's see. On a 9, I stumble, hesitate, or flinch. I pick from a worst outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. I will take the ugly choice.
The ugly choice. Okay. God, this really does put you on the spot. I've never had to ad-lib so much in my life for like similar things. Ugly choice. Also, I'm open to suggestions when it comes to things like this. Like, obviously I might not necessarily go with what people suggest, but I am happy to be open to it. But I'd probably prefer it wasn't the person actively doing the thing. If it was the other people involved, I'm probably more open to those things, because it keeps everybody involved in the scene, right? So if people have suggestions for ugly choices, feel free to give me them now. If not, forever hold your peace until the next time I ask the question. What's the thoughts between Willy and Elphdara?
I would go with the choice.
No, I mean, ugly choice, right? I'm asking you is what you would present her with as an ugly choice. That's what I'm asking, not what she should pick. She's picked. I'm now saying,
okay.
Like, this is me, like,
Cool.
outsourcing
No,
the
I
GMing.
understand. I understand. I don't know.
It's tough, isn't it?
She stumbles and falls back into the hole, or
See, I'd say that would be worse outcome, because that's me saying something did happen.
No, but like she could do that and take fall damage, or she could not fall and take damage, but maybe Elphdara's like emerging from the hole, and as she like moves, she knocks Elphdara back down.
or
Willy or Elphdara.
Yeah.
some
By the hole if I move.
some more rubble falls and a limb gets stuck under some rubble.
You're not a million miles away from what I think I'm going to go with, though, Ross. Right, your choices, right? Your ugly choice. You can suitably dive for the hole to avoid the damage, potentially taking full damage. You might not, but you might potentially take full damage. Or, by doing so, the bolt will pass you by and go into the neighbour's house, where people are living. And this is the slums, so you can guarantee a lot of people are probably living there. Or you can stay and take it.
I don't want to draw the ire into down the hole where my injured companions are. I guess if I turn around, there's like a small child peeking out a window from next door, like eyes wide. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's that kind of almost cliffhanger zoom into your eyes as well.
I'll just take the the bolt.
You're a good one, Jonan. You're a good one. Mark XP. And write down that you've marked XP.
Oh, is that for my alignment?
That's just for being a good player.
A good one.
And also, right, well, roll a d6 plus 1. And that's the damage you're taking.
Okay.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yay.
Okay. I'm pretty somewhat beat up.
But
Am I?
you were a hero. An actual hero.
Am I right in thinking that there are 2 holes in the ground right now?
Yeah, there's the hatch, and then there's the hole you fell through.
Well, since you described it that I grabbed onto like the
Like a bit
remnants
of the
of the
stairs,
stairs,
yeah.
I'm gonna pop it up out the hatch.
Sure.
And from the corner try and fire my bow sneakily
Sure.
at the shadow book.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly because I've never used my bow before, so.
May as well.
Just give me a second.
What was your... whatever I was trying to say there? Alignment, that's what I was looking for. I was actually trying to look for thingy's alignment, that's what I was doing. Let me just do that in the background. Yeah, that was most definitely for that. Defending those weaker than you. Most definitely. I think you're meant to tally it at the end, but I feel like we may as well just checkpoint it as we go. Right? I think that feels right.
Yeah.
If you two are both okay with that as well.
Yeah, it's easier to keep track of.
I think so. Instead of going, wait, did we do that? Did that happen? How was it?
I don't remember.
Like, I'd rather discuss it as it happened, personally. But yeah, that was definitely your alignment gains.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Do you want to type Jonan alignment gains or something akin to that, so that it's been accounted
Jonan
for?
loves gains.
Yep. Good. What XP you on now, Jonan, total?
A 9.
Oh, if you get some downtime.
Level 10.
Not yet, they're not.
No, I know. Needs to go back to the guild and rest.
Doesn't
Okay.
always need to go back to the guild, it just needs the time to actually rest though.
Yeah.
Like, I'll happily let
Makes
you guys
sense.
actually level up if there is actually downtime within the session. And it does suggest hours or days, so that would be like making camp and stuff. But I don't mind if there's an adventure and you get enough XP to level midway, that's cool by me. So what we're looking at, Elphdara, what's happening here? What's the hold up?
Nothing. I was just waiting for you to finish all the XP chat. Did I just roll damage? My bow is equipped.
No, you roll volley.
Volley.
So
Do I have volley?
bring up your basic moves.
Volley's not in my basic moves at this level.
You don't have basic moves, you have starting moves. Basic moves are
Okay.
the list of everybody's moves.
Okay.
Remember on the
basic
PDF I
moves.
told everybody to have open?
I know, I've got the PDF open. I just couldn't
Page
see volley.
1.
I'd right under hack and slash as
Yup.
well. That's just my eyes being
That's
mean
okay.
to me.
It is the first time you're rolling it after all.
Roll plus dex. deal your damage on 7 to 9. Yeah, okay. I'll just roll it and then look
Well,
at
type what you're doing and
whatever's
then roll it.
Yeah, obviously.
So volley against, or bowing against Shadowbook. Per Shadowbook. Mr. Bookman.
Samuel Bookman.
Oh, I never actually covered this, but who's doing notes this session?
I actually thought earlier I
We
would do
haven't-
them. I need to make sure to ask someone else so they can get the XP, and then I forgot to ask.
Yeah, I totally forgot
Did we not
as well.
say we'd do a quest each?
Yeah, I think maybe you did, but I don't know. I mean, all
I
quests are
think
likely
because
to
we
become...
weren't actually technically meant to have this session.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too hard, like just because it's the fight and
Mhm.
like we're still in the last note on part 2.
Mhm.
So maybe just finish off part 2 if someone wants to do it.
I'll do it.
We'll just
I'll
call
add
it part
to
2
the
and
time.
3 is what we'll
Yeah.
call it, and we'll just adjust it to be part 2 and 3 because I'm going to type that up for this for YouTube as part 2 and 3 anyway,
Yeah.
because it is technically part 2 and 3 because we did recap nicely.
Anyway. Rolling decks.
Ross, do you want to do it?
Elphdara roll as well.
Yeah, link me.
There we go. So,
7 to 9, choose one. You have to move to get the shot, placing you in danger of the GM's choice. You have to take what you can get. Was it minus 1d6
Yep.
damage?
it actually says
Uh,
in the book, I looked into it, and it says you cannot do negative damage, so don't worry, you will not accidentally heal people.
You have to take several shots, reducing your ammo by 1. I'll reduce my ammo by 1. Mine was what, 3?
Yep.
So,
So,
yeah,
go into your inventory and mark it
and
as
mark
2.
it down.
Also just type in that's the result you took out of that. Like, even if you just copy paste it from the PDF.
Yup. Just a second.
Because I feel like if we copy paste it from the PDF, it gives us a nicer way to track everybody's decisions as well if we ever have to review. And
There
then
we go.
then you can roll damage. Roll well. You're what, a D6 for a ranger, aren't you?
Give me 1 minute. No, I think it's a D8. I'm in the wrong tab. Yeah, it's a D8 for damage.
Really, rangers are better than I thought.
4.
Okay. As you fire your bow at the Book of Shadows, the like after it Kamehameha had obviously Jonan, and maybe like as Jonan's like went to move and then stood where he is, taking the hit as the kind of shadow dissipates over Jonan. Maybe by that point you've kind of like climbed up, pulled your bow out, knocked an arrow, loosed an arrow. As I said, it is described as you have to take several shots, so maybe you're firing arrows and the thing's obviously made of a bunch of fluttering pages, so you're not quite getting the right shot until one of them obviously hits off the book itself. So maybe it's obviously moving itself around. These things are just punching holes through its cloak. The resale values went down significantly now, and you've obviously managed to hit one off the actual book itself. The problem is though that it just kind of pings off the book quite notably, almost as if this one's a bit tougher than the others. So, Willy, you're in a hole. Oddly fitting, folks at home.
Ha!
God,
Ha!
over my head there.
Well, everything's over your head currently, because you're in a hole.
In
In
a
a hole. Yes.
Oh dear.
Also, probably would be anyway, because he's like a short cleric.
He is the short cleric.
Nothing would go over my head. My reflexes are too quick, I would catch it. Anyway, so continue. What's the plan there? You've got an elf that's just parkoured her way up at like a almost like a beam holding up the floor that held up the stairs as well. You've heard obviously Jonan maybe groan a little bit at being smacked by shadows. Yeah, and you're still in the ground. Oh, in the basement, I guess, in the dark.
I am.
That glowing rock's still upstairs, by the way.
Oh, it's just chilling. I cast light on a rock ages ago. Tried to throw it, and it didn't work. I will make my way downtown, upstairs, and I assume there's like a staircase of sorts or a ladder.
It was destroyed by Jonan.
Okay.
As I said, Elphdara used like a beam that's supporting the floor that also supported the staircase to like kind of stop her fall. So now, yeah. So you'd probably you'd have to climb.
Okay.
What's this?
Yeah, okay, I will climb up.
Right, so this maybe takes a bit of time, and it's probably enough time for Jonan and Elphdara to have done something else in reaction to these books. Because there's no real role to do that. I just feel like it should take you a bit of time narratively that they get to go and do stuff before you. I feel like that's how this should probably be addressed.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to make you defy danger by defying gravity and then get into a musical and then it's all like, oh, and your skin turns green and it's a whole big thing. So I don't want to get into that. I think you can indulge me.
Also, Ryan, as a side note, could I just say I almost said swears in Dwarven when my arrows weren't hitting, and I was like, no, wrong RP. Wrong RP.
Those were javelins, my dear.
They were not arrows.
I
was still an elf, though.
As I said, one of them hit, but it was a case of how do you explain armor for a book?
Yeah, it was almost like a glancing shot.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than a,
it didn't
you
like
hit
that,
this
though, don't
thing
worry.
Good.
I just love the idea that you're just firing arrows through a paper body, though. That's kind of cool visually. And then eventually you hit, go for the face, yes.
I like the idea that Elphdara is getting more and more frustrated, perhaps not swearing in Dwarven. She doesn't know any Dwarven swear words.
Yet.
I mean, I know a dwarf now. So, yeah, she'd probably get more and more frustrated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And is probably just continuing to fire arrows. But I imagine she also calls on Thorn to attack the book while she's doing the arrow thing.
Okay, let's have a look at being a ranger and see what we're up to. 2 seconds.
Hi, I'm being a ranger. I think it's melee actually you need to do that with, rather than...
No, it just says attack the same target.
Oh,
Add the
nice.
ferocity to your damage under command. When you work with your animal companion on something it's trained in, and you attack the same target. Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. My ferocity is 3, so...
You took the bottom row, didn't you?
Yeah.
Cool. So, what are you shouting to Thorn, which I always want to call Hawke?
Oh, no, that's me.
Yep, I know. It's just because it is also a hawk, and I'm like, it's obviously called Hawke.
I kind of did that on purpose because I was going to call myself Elphdara Thorn, but I was like,
No, because
nah.
then Nathaniel would never let you hear the end of it.
Exactly. Yeah, and then I'd be related to him, and I just don't want
So
that.
a huge scary bird is what you've named after.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, I like it. But anyway, yeah,
He's a
so
huge scary bird.
it would be command.
So, yeah, command. Alright, I'll type first.
And also narrative up for the folks at home, and also your fellow players. And don't just say cacaw, motherfuckers. Also, a bit late now, but swearing will probably be constant throughout these games. So, this was your warning.
And not just in
This
Dwarven.
far in.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I wasn't sure. At the start,
No,
but
not attach. Attack?
Yeah, ideally, I don't really just want it to be swearing after swearing after swearing, but if people swear casually, and it just happens, I'm not really exactly going to be upset, you know? I feel like if people have watched any of the videos I've ever put up on YouTube, they'll understand it's going to be a thing, you know?
It's an expression.
So, yeah. Do you want to roll volley? And also
Yep.
tell us what's happening? So what does Elphdara do?
So, you know, as she's firing off these arrows, pa-choo, pa-choo,
Just
for
loads of
sound
them.
effects. Just pulling out arrows and firing them. She's sort of probably muttering under her breath to herself about how stupid these books are and why do we even take this quest, and just being like a moany little bitch. Language. That was a horrible thing to say. I'm actually offended. Mostly on behalf of Elphdara. But anyway, so she's firing arrows. She's moaning. She's not happy. Because it's quite difficult to hit the book, it turns out. And she just calls on Thorn and says, like, sick him. Again, because that's what she says to Thorn, apparently.
Why don't you roleplay that for us?
What? Sick him?
The scene?
I can't really roleplay.
I feel like you narrated a lot of that, mid-year.
Yes, because I can't. What lines have I got? Just
The lines you give
sick
her,
him.
you've got
I gave her
all of the world to
Yeah,
say.
but the audience wouldn't be able to hear what she's muttering. She's just muttering. You maybe catch
Oh,
like
the audience totally could. The camera would zoom in. You would just get her
Nah.
mutterings to herself.
Nah.
Oh
You
yeah.
wouldn't hear what she's saying. You wouldn't, because it's like those scenes in movies where you just hear someone go, general muttering, and then she just shouts "sick him," and Thorn comes in and dives down like he's gonna catch prey on top of the shadow book. True story. While she's firing arrows.
We'll find out if it's a true story.
True story. This is my confidence in myself. Following.
Follow.
I can't type.
But yeah, just as an overall kind of reminder for folks, I would prefer people to say stuff in their character as opposed to narrate what their character does. I'd rather just say, my character works this way, and then, behold, fair maiden, instead of saying they say, behold,
Yeah,
fair maiden.
but as I said,
I'm not talking
like,
to you.
you
I'm
didn't
talking
have
to the
lines.
group, Balana.
She didn't
do your
have
thing.
lines. I'm not called Balana.
Oh, you are. You are always called Balana. You know that.
I know. I know.
You said that earlier to me. I'm Balana and everything. That was your exact word.
It's my name
Also, volleying
now.
does look like a weird word, doesn't it?
It's not a good word. I don't like it.
No. I think just volley at shadow next time.
so
That was less weird.
Dex 11
Mhm.
and deal damage. That's nice. Damage without consequence.
Isn't it just though? Clear shot.
Plus 3 is 7.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So the shadow book, obviously you pull back. You kind of notice that, I hit it in the face. That seems to be where it doesn't like being hit. And then, yeah. Maybe we should make that a wee move as well, maybe.
Mm.
You know, just because it's something to click instead of having to type every time.
Damage plus Hawke.
Yeah.
Or damage plus Thorn.
Or Thorn, plus Thorn.
Plus Thorn.
Or even just all of the Thorn stats, maybe? Just like listing the ferocity, cunning, etc., because they'll all come up in different situations. So it's maybe worth just having a Thorn button.
I have them listed under my animal companion.
See
If I have a move
if
for
you
that.
click that for me.
Do you want me to click
Yeah.
that? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's good enough. That covers what we need to. Because obviously if you use that to defend as well, you get the armor right,
Mm.
which is nice. Because that my companion is just bonuses to you. The problem is that obviously if you use it to do a lot of stuff, it's then obviously getting hit. And do you know what health points they don't have? Many. You don't want that. You don't want to risk your pets. Otherwise you're going to get Thorn 2. A thorn in my side. But yeah, 7 damage.
It's not bad.
That's pretty good, yeah. As you obviously maybe fire for the head again, obviously thorn maybe just swoops right through the massive pages for the body, kind of treading what it can as it kind of like flies up through other kind of broken parts of the house. Circles back to the sky to be narratively excused until another scene. Not bad.
He's like probably getting annoyed at me because like
He's
I
probably hungry.
imagine, yeah, I imagine like when I shout sick him, it's usually like when we're in the woods and I see a rabbit
Hmm.
because he's lazy. He doesn't have to look for food anymore. He's got me.
He doesn't even have
That's probably
scout.
why he likes me so much.
Unlike what I thought earlier. Just has guard. It's been told to sit and just scare people.
Yeah, and guard me.
Oh.
He sits on my back sometimes because he's so huge. He doesn't fit in my shoulder.
Stupid, weird, eagle-sized hawk.
I love him.
But yeah, so we are... where are we? Yeah. Jonan. What are you doing as Willy's almost out of this hole? Still got a Jonan?
Let's see. Elphdara has popped up, and our birds appeared out of nowhere. Sort of swish
Basically,
over my
like as your
shoulder.
kind of like shadows dissipate over you, like you just look and there's just like loads of arrows being fired into this shadow book's kind of body, and then one hits off its face, and then another one kind of gets pulled up, smacks kind of, dents into the actual book cover itself as a hawk smashes through the page body, kind of shredding half of it.
I want to punch the arrow all the way through the spine, and also punch the book.
Okay, yeah. Should I roll?
That's amazing.
Well, describe it obviously first. It's assumed that you will actually type in, and by that I mean type. So
I'll do that first in case I forget. So I'll write attacking shadow book.
Shadow Bookman.
Mr. Bookman.
Yeah.
Leave me
So
out, Bookman.
I'll look over my shoulder as like Elphdara comes up, sort of turning my back to the enemy for a second, and then our hawk flies down. I'll say, "Good to see you have my back." And then I'll after she's released these couple of arrows, almost like a split second after she's lost the last arrow that sort of thunks into the book, I'm going to see the arrow and follow through immediately with my fist, just punching into the back end of the arrow where the fletchling, the feather is, and just punch it straight through the rest of the book, finishing with like a great big thunk into the pages. Hopefully.
Let's see what happens. Roll me a hack and slash.
Hack and slash.
Viper strike.
Excellent. So, deal your damage.
I will take this opportunity to. Oh no, wait, that's
No,
on
no.
that's on a 10 plus,
Yep.
right? You can, yeah.
So you're getting damaged, and it's dealing damage. Right, okay. And that's plus, isn't it?
1 from 4.
Okay, okay. So, this kind of works out quite nicely. Do you want to also roll a D... This is what the shadow book, so a D6 plus 1. Try not to get a 6.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
That's just now that we've said it, isn't it? Oof. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll describe what happens. As you're going to like rush in to punch, obviously this arrow to kind of push it the rest of the way through. Obviously the book kind of like almost the blinking motion of the book is almost like the like the full cover closes and it opens again really quickly. And as you go and hit the arrow just kind of snaps as you punch, but the book kind of follows through with the punch, so like it moves its kind of head back, and then you just see like a kind of almost like a jab from the left, and it's just a rush of pages, and you take the 4 damage. Obviously, if you've got armor, you should be reducing all this stuff with armor, etc.
Oops.
Yep, but it's fine.
I've been hit twice, so.
Nope, we're rolling with it. If we've missed it, we've missed it.
Okay. So that one is 2 damage then.
There you go. It was only the fire book, that skip to that, just as a heads up.
Okay, no problem.
Fire generally will ignore armor, which is crazy.
The black bolt probably as well.
No.
Magic-y.
Nope.
Oh, okay. So that would have went with armor, but it's fine. It's in the past.
Right. So what that meant was you didn't do enough damage to damage it, but obviously you didn't roll high enough to avoid taking a hit from it, which I thought was kind of a cool scene. Right.
Yeah.
What are you on now though? So that's 2. So you're on what, 5?
I'm on 5. So with that, I kind of
It
hurt
should be-
myself a little bit.
Is it 8, 5, and 7? Is that your totals? The order being the chat order in Discord.
Yeah,
Let me see.
Should be.
Why have I closed my character sheet?
Because I think all the damage that Elphdara should have taken after healing, she punted
Yeah,
on
mate.
to... Yeah, cool. Willy, you 7, yeah?
'cause I'm
yep.
Respectable. Okay, that's for the folks at home. So anyway, Willy, you're out of the hole. What is he doing?
He gets up and
I think in the background, as you're
brushes
climbing
himself
up,
off.
yeah, as you're climbing out, in the background, there's that slight blurry look of like Jonan like following through with the punch and then getting like the paper cut kind of jab from the left in the background with all that kind of rushing paper noise.
he brushes himself off and he'll say I know it's normal this time. Yous aren't getting all the fun to yourselves, and he sort of pulls up his trousers and rushes forward with his warhammer, and he's gonna he strikes or attempts to strike Shadow Bookman.
Oh. Okay, yeah. A cheeky wee hack and slash.
Yep.
So type in warhammering or whatever you wanted to phrase it.
Oh, sorry, the Cloud City Mall.
Yep. So you're CCing him with the Cloud City Mall. These pure innocent books. Not bad.
nice.
Are you going to be cheeky and go all in? Or are you just going to roll damage normally?
Can I go? Oh
You
wait,
attack and slash, remember?
yeah.
Remember?
Oh yes, yes.
Right, every day you heard it here, right? He's going in. Did you read the rest of the line though? Go up. But you expose yourself to the enemy's attack.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Roll your damage plus a d6.
Oh god.
Rob Kaz.
It's
Hmm.
just 2d6 damage.
Yeah, Grobkaz.
I'll Mid class damage is a d6, so I'll just roll again.
Yep. So 6 total.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
God, that so wasn't worth it.
Right, so do you want to type in the option you took? So exposed to enemy attack or something that doesn't just have the word exposed in it.
Willy was exposed.
God.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Right, okay, interesting. So, do you want to now roll the damage you're taking?
Roll a one.
It's a
Roll
d6
a one.
plus 1.
Roll
God.
a
Oh
one.
god.
Oh my god. Whew. So you're down to 2 now.
Can you do healsies on yourself?
Yeah, I can.
I can try.
Like it says ally, and I feel like I would consider myself an ally. So
I am my own ally.
Yep.
I am on my side.
Can I? Can I heal myself?
What I'm going to do is finish describing this, and then you can decide what you're doing if you want to read your spell.
I know. I can. It doesn't. Oh god, it does. I don't know. Continue.
Yeah, I will. Um, so, as you rush over this kind of precariously holed floor and swing your Cloud City mall, or your City of the Clouds mall, I should say, into the book, you smash upwards again through all the paper and pages, kind of, dispersing the kind of loosely formed body it's made, smacking the book, knocking some of the pages out of the actual book itself, and some of the ink kind of flies everywhere. And then part of that, like out of the mismatch of pages in the middle, like hand forms, and then like all the kind of shadows wrap around it, similar to when it obviously struck at Jonan. And then all the shadow magic hits into you, smacking you for obviously five damages. Obviously, you still reduce that by your armor. Keep in mind.
Oh, oops.
And your
Okay, so
armor
that should only have is 2.
So you should be on what, 4 health?
4.
There you go. See, armor is a thing. Definitely ask for it. Always question things if you're not sure. As I said, I'm just going to give you guys the damage they do. It's up to you to reduce it and stuff, and let me know, like, is that reduced by damage or by whatever circumstances might be ongoing at that point in time. Because the more you level up, the more jankies will have. So always ask about if it's effective or not. Good. Right, now what are you doing? Are you going to try and heal yourself?
Yes. Yeah. He's forcibly knocked back and wounded, and sees the stainless windows flash before his eyes, and sort of
Unremarkable at best, really, aren't they?
a last sort of ditch prayer is leaves his lips, something along the lines of "Save me, Carlos, please." And he puts his hand on his heart and channels his cleric magic through his hands.
Just type heal self or something and then roll your casting spell.
Oh, roll first.
Yeah.
We don't roll first.
Casting spell, remember?
Oh.
Yep. That's what you're meant to do, yeah. And then
Ho!
That
Carlos,
is what you're meant to do.
and then roll your actual spell.
That's
rolls for a
amazing.
1.
No!
4's not bad.
That's
It's halfway.
the average, right?
Mhm.
5's probably average. But yes,
You're back
I'm
up
on
to
8.
Not bad. Oh, it's reduced by armor. Imagine.
The healing is reduced by armor. You must take your armor off.
Your god
and
prefers you to be
expose-
naked.
Willy needs to expose
Do you
himself
know,
first
that would
to
be
heal.
such a great like paladin like tenant, or like a religious tenant, wouldn't it? That you only get like your healing's reduced by how much you wear. Like that'd be great. If you had like a god of like being exposed, or like the naked truth or something bullshitty like that. I love that. That's great. We need to save that for a future class I make. Okay, yeah. Jonan, Elphdara, and Willy are all now back on the ground floor, above the basement, and there is still 2 books. One looks, well, it's seen better days.
Can I stab it with my spear, please?
Sure.
I just need to.
It's been well used.
Would that be a hacky slash?
Yeah.
Strength.
The thing staggers back probably because of the City of the Clouds mall ever so slightly.
But
as
I'm also, as I am doing that, you just hear Elphdara's voice sort of cutting through the scene with another really loud sickum. And Thorn comes swooping in again.
This is where Thorn makes its dramatic exit, isn't it?
So. Do.
I love how this firebook has just watched all this happen to its buddy. From being in its small robes on the ground. Keeping stum.
command. And then... Spear...
You need to have a quicker way of doing that, don't you? We need to have these
My
like...
typing's terrible today because my...
It's not that, I just feel like we could make these buttons you push.
Oh, we could. It'd be
Yeah.
great. Spear at Shadow Bookman. Roll strength. 10.
Not bad.
Nice one. I'm not going all in.
I figured you might not.
And I will roll damage.
Mhm.
5. And plus 3 from Thorn equals 8.
Not bad. Yeah. I think as you lean in and swipe at it with your spear, obviously dodging kind of Willy, who's going to be knocked back ever so slightly by the Shadow Blast. Again, Jonan poised, ready to strike, no doubt. The Hawke swoops in, you swoop in. There's lots of swooping, too much swooping in fact.
Swooping
And
is
then
bad.
there's some spearing, that's very bad also. And then there's a loud kind of pulse as all the lights flicker very quickly. And then all the pages rush back into this book, even ones that have been like torn apart and things from across the room, all pull back in as the book slams shut and hits the ground. 2 down.
Yes.
Well done, Elphdara. Elphdara.
O'Hara, the Irish detective lady that she's become.
The multi soda drink kind of caught in my throat. It's quite good for the voice of Jonan, but it kind of like, yeah. Anyway,
That hawk of yours is pretty useful. One more to go, huh?
It's also
We can take
slightly
it.
terrifying.
Can you see it anywhere?
I'll sort of like cast my gaze around.
I haven't seen it since I come up here.
The last I saw was poised over the fallen floor.
Is there, I guess, can I hear anything? Any noises? I'm looking around.
I mean, besides like half of the place burning and crumpling wood and that crackling noise and creaking floorboards and, I mean, various voices from onlookers now that are probably slowly gathering outside the rubble. No, not really. There's too much going on.
Okay.
But they're like kind of like in front of the three of you is where the shadow book obviously stood, but is now just a book on the floor. And then behind you guys, kind of nearer the entranceway, is where the fire book was. So that was the shadow book in front of you, fire book behind you guys, but you are still missing one.
Elphdara, do you want to grab the shadow book and I will pick up incendios? I think we should keep them separated for now.
That sounds like a good idea, Jonan. And she picks up the Shadow Bookman. Or
Yeah.
Shadow Book Formerman.
I'll dust some ash over where from where the fire book was, I guess, and pick it up.
Good, good. What's Willy doing?
William!
I guess it's like getting pretty smoky now from like all the
Smoke.
yeah, all the smoke.
William, I can't see you. Are you alright?
He just glares
Oh,
at Jonan.
you're there, in front of me, the whole time.
You're disgusting.
Are any of you, really badly wounded?
Willy looks to the dark blast on his chest in the book, and the blood coming from his eyeballs.
Like you all probably look like the the end of a beat 'em up game where your like outfits get trashed along the way.
It's like when you lose in Street Fighter 2, and it's just the beat up version of you.
So I'll do Elphdara first.
Oh my!
Oh,
Oh,
she won't complain.
I'm gonna smear my sauce on her.
Oh,
She is all for the smearing of the sauce.
There you go. And like, well, I'll mix up 2 batches. Let me know if I'm interrupted. I think I can't remember how long we decided this was going to
10
take.
minutes.
it says a few minutes.
Something like that.
So I'd say
Yeah.
that like you don't feel like you're in imminent danger. Put it that way. You know you're missing a threat. Let's face it, you're missing something. But yeah,
Yeah.
you have looked around quite briefly and went, how about you drink these and I rub these over you?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
Mhm,
That's
yeah.
pretty much how it goes.
Can you write who that's for though?
So yeah, I'm using up both of those.
So you'll have time to use one. Let's put it that way. So who's getting it?
So those would be the.
If that's the order, yep. So you've got time to
Yeah.
get through Elphdara. Sadly, you'll be too busy rubbing it into Elphdara before you can make it to Willy.
Well,
Yeah. God,
Elphdara
the-
is up for
the-
the rubbing.
the
The rubbing
out-duendos,
of
I
a
guess. Not even the innuendos, the
This is a-
out-duendos.
This is a painful wound. This won't do much for now, but you should have this properly looked at when we're out of here. It would be a shame if it's scarred.
Do you want to heal, Elphdara?
Sure. How does one heal?
You just heal 7.
Take 7. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, But you do smell of weird herbs now.
Elphdara looks
Feels
up
nice.
gratefully at Jonan, touches his arm lightly.
And then she's going to defy danger in that exact moment as the floor crashes beneath her.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I've not even put my 7 in. I had 8.
Quickly,
8 plus 7,
fi-
16.
Yeah, it's
No,
15.
it's not. 15. I can't do maths, okay?
It's
My
okay.
job is maths, and I can't do it. Okay, defy danger, dexterity,
Yep, I figured.
roly-poly. I'm going to do another parkour roll to sort of stop the
Okay.
damage
Sounds
from the fall.
sounds like a plan. Also, if Callum ends up listening, you are still precious, just so you know. Just throw wee Easter eggs in here every now and then in case people do listen.
You know Callum will listen.
Probably.
You're still my favourite cousin, Callum. My favourite forever.
One day you might actually join us in the nonsense that is Tales of Triumph. Also, make Fimbly Nast as your second character.
Family!
Okay, so Defy Danger, we need a theme tune for that. Probably. Dex for Roly Poly. That's pretty good, yeah. That is pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good roll.
So what happens is kind of blades made out of folded paper like stab through the floorboards and then just wrap around you and like pull you through the floor. Dear God, the words. And you kind of get, as I said, it kind of crushes all the what do you call them, floorboards, etc., and pulls you in. So as you're like patting Jonan, you just then go through the floor. And he's just left staring at
As
you.
I fall, like I started to say thank you, Jonan, but I've got as far as thank, and as I say you, it's like you.
But I like the idea that you still say you as you've like rolled to a stop because you make the noise the whole time, like
And then
forward roll,
as I get
you,
as I get out of the roll, I shout Jonan.
Jonan.
Like finish the sentence. Like,
Oh, yeah, I like that. You turn round and you're faced with the blink book in the dark. The only light coming in again in rays between these two holes. Now 3 technically.
I'm still holding my spear in my hand, so I'm probably just going to go for a stabby stab
Go for
and
it.
shout sick him at the same time
Cool.
for my +3.
Your
so...
Hawke won't hear you here, sadly.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I feel abandoned.
Mm.
Right, okay. So I'm just going to do a stabby stab then, a hacky slashy.
Okay. Stab and blink.
Hacky. Hacky. Slashy. Not hashy slacky.
Mostly a stabby really with your spear, I guess, so. Also, after this quest, whenever it ends on part 16, I'll ask everybody for a bit of feedback on this, because this is the first full quest series I guess I've run. Obviously, I'll be reviewing a lot of things I do and trying to refine them as we go. Okay, have at thee.
Damn it.
So
Turns out I needed those heals.
I think what happens is maybe you were a bit more shaken by the fall, like, you know, that kind of shaky leg thing that you think you're fine, but they're still kind of obviously vibrant. Do you want to mark XP here and make sure you've marked it? And then do you want to roll a d8 for damage? I'll describe what happens. Try roll a 1 if you can.
It's gonna be an 8.
Nah, it could be a 1.
It's a 4.
Split the difference. It's not bad. You're still the healthiest out of everyone.
Yep.
As this happened, I think what happens is you kind of leap forward, you shout sick 'em, and I think maybe the fact that you're obviously, your eyes dart upwards looking for your Hawke, but obviously you don't spot them, that kind of catches you off guard. You stumble a bit, and your spear hits off the ground, and as you kind of like tumble in front of this thing, it just stabs into you with its weird paper sword hands.
I was gonna say earlier, you know how when you said the paper sword things cut through the floor? I had that, you know, that Tom and Jerry thing with the saw underneath the person going in a circle.
Yes, I mean, it wasn't too dissimilar to that, only I imagine they come up like horror movie style spikes and then they just wrap around and then pull. But yeah, that's pretty good too. But this thing just like folds up a lot of its pages into a blade and stabs at you. Obviously your armor will reduce that damage again.
Oh, good. What's my armor? Let's see.
It's probably 1.
I think it's 1. Yeah, it's 1.
Cool.
Woo.
So you only take 3.
I only took 3. That's nice.
So you're on what, 12 still?
12, yeah.
Not bad. Cool.
Thanks, Jonan.
What are you guys doing up there? I mean, so Jonan, you've had that kind of half-hearted thank you as she got pulled away from you.
It would have been a very sincere and heartfelt thank you had I not fallen.
Thank you, Jonan. I love it.
Okay, she fell down and the thing's down there with her.
Yeah, so it turns out the book, so what happened is you were rubbing herbs over her, she felt better and went, thank, and then like these blades pulled up through the floorboards and pulled her down into the dark basement, very dramatically, and she went, thank, and then as she's forward rolled out of the problem, she said, you, and then as she stopped and stood up, she went, Jonan, and then she's turned around, pulled her spear, ran at the thing, tripped because she was looking for a Hawke that never came, and then it stabbed her. So the book is down there with her.
You probably heard me go,
So you're probably looking directly down onto the book and on the floor Elphdara, who's just been stabbed by a pagey hand sword thing.
Okay.
So yours are both, like Willy and Jonan are both probably staring down the hole at that.
Okay. So, what I want to do, you can tell me how to do it, is I want to
Land on it.
lift up a big ass piece of like a broken beam, and I want to hurtle it down towards the ground, almost like I imagine, you know, like if you're putting down the foundations for a house, you'd like throw a big beam into the ground, into some like softer ground, and and then you'd start laying the foundations. It'd be like a supporting beam, kind of like that. So I'm going to take one of these building beams and I want to throw it down through the creature. I can do that in 2 parts because I have bend bars and lift gates. I don't know
So
if you want me to make
That's
it
purely for
slow or-
breaking things. There's plenty of broken stuff around because remember you crashed through the roof before, so there's plenty of stuff to throw. It will be a strength roll, and we'll just call it a hack and slash for simplicity because it's based on strength.
So I'll just go find the biggest one, like a big beam.
Yeah, a big chunky beam, and you're gonna throw it.
Yep.
At this thing
Yep.
like a caber.
Yeah, kind of throw it because it's a drop. I think we'll see. I'll roll first, then I'll try and describe it better depending on what happens.
No worries.
So firstly, you want me to do just a hack and slash?
So just type, dropping heavy beam on book or whatever you want to put as the action. Blinkman, yep. And just do a hack slash. Mostly because it's a strength-based attack, and I feel like this is a strength thing. It's not like you're dexily throwing like some kind of spear across a valley. Oofed.
Nice.
Dear gods. You gonna go all in?
We're rolling good on the.
Yeah, I'm gonna go all in if I can. What is that?
Now keep in
The-
mind, you know the damage it did was a D8,
Don't go all in.
just
Just
as a
hit
heads
it.
up.
Oh, I take a retaliation.
Yeah, you would take a D8 retaliation, just for an extra D6 of damage on yours.
You know what? I know Elphdara is in a bad way.
I'm
Yeah.
not in that bad a way.
Hey,
Willy's in a bad way, and there's a child watching through the window.
and you have to look
kinda wee
heroic
meat
and
eyes
action
again.
figurable.
Yeah. I imagine she's got a little blonde hair and
Action
pigtails, and
figurable.
she's yeah. So I'm holding this beam up,
Yep.
and I decide
Motoko! As you smash it into the.
I'm gonna make this. Yeah. I'm like,
Hello, Bato. Like I just realised how Bato you are, and it hurts.
I'll say, Daijoubu. Everything's alright because. Oh, I'll say it in his voice. I'll say, everything's alright, Elphdara, because I am here, and I'll drop the thing down with. I'll go
Drop
all
the
in.
mic, yeah.
Yeah, drop the beam.
Do you
onto-
say like Detroit Smash or something when you're doing
Oh, well,
it? United States
we
of Smash. I
we
don't know.
haven't decided the name of this place yet, so I guess I'll go for what we call it? Main City Smash.
Elphdara, you probably can't see it, but she is swooning. She is
Okay.
swooned,
You can't tell if
damn
it's
it.
the blood in her mouth or if it's just.
but she has swooned.
Plus all in power 100%.
Plus ultra.
I think-
Plus ultra power.
Plus Ultra.
Yeah.
Beyond.
1d6.
No. You're
You're going beyond your limit.
Are you going all in? You were rolling another D6?
Yeah.
You're using 101% of your power.
Oh.
So 5 damage. This, alas, isn't as impressive as you hope it is. Maybe because you're a dex-based character, but that's obviously a statistical thing. Maybe it's a bit tougher for you to heave this thing up and actually throw it into the ground.
Hey, it worked.
I mean,
it worked.
It did work. It's just not quite been good enough to actually hurt the thing, that's all. So this, as you throw that down, it maybe just misses the book. Know how like where the book would angle backwards, like an open book, to create the faceplate? Maybe the beam just smashes all the pages kind of down the way, but they all kind of flutter up around the beam. And then it just kind of steps to the side. So you know it didn't like that because half of its pages are stuck to the ground, but it stepped to the side using the sword kind of to reform the rest of its body. So it's still got a kind of humanoid shape. And it glares up at you with no eyes. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's a
I'll
book.
do like a.
You're a fan of that, Ryan.
What, things with no eyes glaring at people? No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
That's only.
I'll do the
That's-
martial arts thing with my hand, just like one of them out in front,
Mhm.
where you like raise all 4 fingers kind of backwards.
Oh yeah.
You do like a
The
come
taunt.
at me,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, that.
Okay. Yeah.
Matrix.
I think as you do that, then the book vanishes. Defy danger, Jonan.
Defy it, please. Defy it well.
I think it took your taunt.
How would you like defy danger?
Something
I would
appears
say
next
by
to you and tries to attack you.
Okay. I would say I would imagine that something that disappeared in front of me. I've got like a little bit of knowledge on the book
Oh
now.
yeah,
I think.
you've definitely seen this. Yeah.
I think it would be a physical reaction of turning as fast as I can, maybe like swirling my foot around the ash and almost a 360 till I come in
Yeah,
contact with
cool.
it.
Yeah, like almost like a kind of like a spin dodge thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Defy by spinning.
Yeah.
Spinning round.
I like it. It did say in almost every forum as well. Defy danger will be done a lot, probably. I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing that. Ooh, nice.
Thank. Oops. Okay.
What we're picking,
I will pick.
and then just copy paste it in. This is the hardest part, isn't it? Really? Whew, a hard bargain. Okay, yeah. I think at this point, obviously you've like pivoted round, and you're about to kind of obviously dodge out of the way. The as you can see, the book's obviously between you and Willy. It's got weird, again, blades made out of pages. One held up against Willy, and one held out towards you. The one that's kind of like mid-swish, you know, that you've ducked out of the way of. Your hard bargain is: are you going to try and interfere with the blade held out to Willy, or are you going to leave it be and thus you be completely safe?
You know what? I don't. Willy's held his own in this battle so far.
Plus, its focus
and
does seem to have been on you.
He's a man, and for me to run to his rescue, while Elphdara's fallen down a hole,
And having been stabbed, you watched that. It's not great.
I think not to not defend someone weaker than me, but to acknowledge him as a man.
Yeah.
I will allow him to take the hit so that I can continue to defend.
You know what's going to happen, Willy?
Watch out, Willy!
I'm
Willy's
sorry,
just
Willy. It's on
You got
you.
Willy and not Willy.
Overcome with joy, the tears cloud his vision. He trips over his cloak. He throws the stone full speed, glowing with the light of Carlos. No, but carry on. What are you doing? Defy danger, my friend.
Yeah, he's just he's been like a human meat shield this sort of encounter, so he's gonna just continue with that and just take the hit. Or fight through it. With con.
Okay, yeah. So you're just going to try and block again as best you can.
Yeah.
Roll
Well, I mean, he has a
against-
shield, so
Okay. Have you been adding... That's where the other armor does it? It's leather armor plus the
Yeah.
shield, isn't it? Yeah, cool.
chainmail plus shield.
Cool.
Roll it good. I believe in you, Willy.
Well then.
I didn't have enough faith.
Now, copy paste what you're going to do. Worst outcome, hard bargain, ugly choice. Throw that in.
Oh, what's the most valid at this point? Maybe a worse outcome. I mean, this has already been sort of like an ugly choice or a hard bargain, so I don't know if it would. Let's go for worse outcome.
Okay. Paste that in and then I will reveal.
Oh,
Indeed. Passion
bet
means
Callum wishes he
akimbo.
was here for this now.
I'm good to Callum. How do you? So anyway,
Oh, he is precious.
he is precious.
Hashtag Callum is precious.
Right, okay. So, you've seen this obviously blink before, Willy. This is you.
Yep.
You've seen it vanish. And you know it starts with like the outer pages first, and it all pulls up to the book last. So, as you go to try and just like brace for the hit, you can see this book's going to try and bail. You start to see the outer pages like vanish, like in that kind of gust as they
Yeah.
vanish, slowly rippling in. You could lean in to try and grab the book before it goes, but you're going to be taking the damage.
Oh, he'll definitely do that.
Good man. Also, I think that actually just happens. I don't actually think you get the choice at that point. I think because you've chosen the worst outcome, this is a worse outcome, right?
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's maybe how that should be ran, because I feel like choices are the ugly choice part. So, yeah, worst outcome, I guess I just decide. Do you want to roll the damage, though, which is a d8?
Oh god.
Yeah. Keep
Oh, just write slash and dole. Slash dole 188.
remember the armor is reducing this, of course. Aren't we glad the armor reduces that?
Yes.
What's that you're left on now?
4.
I have you on 4 already.
Did I not? Oh. Okay, I've not updated. Yes. Wait,
So you're at 0 now, right?
what does that mean?
Oh, that means we get to do the thing that's kind of narratively nice for the ending.
No, Willy!
So, as this scene plays out, Willy's eyes catch the pages start to vanish, slowly rippling in towards the book. Instead of trying to like brace himself with his shield and his chainmail, he actually just lunges forward with his hand, lifting the, obviously it's probably your shielded hand, because your Warhammer Mall thing's in the other one, your City of the Clouds Mall. You lean in to try and grab the book, your eyes go wide, and then the book's kind of bladed page hand, very Terminator T-1000-esque, I guess, just stabs into you as it kind of looks at you as your hand clasps around the book, shutting it, and all the pages flip right all the way back into the book as you end up clutching it forward into your shield as you collapse forward. For everybody else, time stops. And Willy, you're standing looking down at your collapsed body with this book clutched into it. Okay? The book is obviously not happy. It's still kind of like vibrating over, but you know, sadly, it's under dwarven pressure, as we know from earlier. So it doesn't seem to be able to move very far. You know what's happening though, don't you? Last breath. When you're dying, you catch a glimpse of what lies beyond the black gates of Death's kingdom. You only see the rippling clouds, the sun setting them off behind it, so you have that beautiful silver lining. You see the spires of the city in the clouds, some of the light shining through the stainless windows from the beautiful sun. And then behind you, as you turn round, there is cold, cold air, chilling, and the sun goes away. You no longer can see the city in the clouds, and before you stands a robed figure, and it just stares blankly with its expressionless skull staring back, and it just points to you. Do you want to roll last breath for me?
It's just 2d6, right?
Oh yeah.
But as I see this figure, I reach into my ethereal pack and pull out an ethereal pamphlet of Carlos and hand it towards him.
Yes!
Have you heard the good words, sir?
I mean,
Perhaps it could reach the afterlife and not only the
I think what
the
we're going to
living
do,
realm.
here, Willy, for that is we're going to roll first, then we'll see if you manage to survive to do enough of this. Because I want to know if this is how you bargain your way out of it. But I want to know if you roll well enough to bargain out of it. Oh my god.
No! No!
So,
No!
on a miss, your fate is sealed. You're marked as death zone,
No!
and you'll cross the threshold soon. So, death is standing, pointing at you. You're kind of then, maybe the camera clicks back to you and you're holding that pamphlet just out absent-mindedly as it flaps in kind of the wind coming from behind death. You see like the kind of the black spires of a mighty kind of citadel in the background of death. Kind of like a big walled off area with big kind of very, very obvious gates. And death walks towards you slowly and then holds out a key that you absent-mindedly take just in your other hand while still holding this pamphlet that's slightly kind of flapping in the breeze, just with a kind of cheesy grin of a mustache with a smile on the side of it. You take the key and then everything goes black. And for the purposes of this, you will die, but you'll die at the next sunrise. And that's where the key that you have, you'll use to go through the black gates. So as you come to, with quite a horrible shock, you come kind of half back to the world, where you wake up, hard to breathe, clutching this book as it's slowly struggling. It's maybe the thing that you feel like maybe wakes you up a bit like an alarm clock, and then you kind of look up, and I assume Jonan and Elphdara have probably ran over by this point.
Yeah.
Well, you all have a book each. What do you do?
Willy, my friend.
He looks paler than pale. Whatever that even means.
Are you alright, Willy? You don't look well.
We should take him to his church, to his peoples,
Yeah.
to the sect of Carlos.
He...
Come on, buddy. Let's get you home.
It's too late. I've seen the black gates. The black gates!
He must have hit his head.
He must
Happens
have hit his
often
head pretty
on
hard.
the build site.
Is this key a physical thing that I now have on my person?
Only you can see it.
Alright, I'll hold up this key. I've got the key! The key to the black gates. It's too late.
He's probably holding a pamphlet to you guys.
He's definitely hit his head, Jonan. We should take him back to his people. He made me feel better when I was pretty hurt. Maybe the rest of the sect of Carlos can help him too.
Also,
think-
him sounding mad isn't that out of character. You probably want to go hand these books back and then claim your money from the Adventuring Guild, just as a heads up as well.
It's all right, buddy. We'll get you to safety.
I have a plan.
Some tears start running down his rosy, or his cheeks are still somewhat rosy. That's the only part of him that's got any colour in him.
And that's probably just blood.
Carlos wasn't there, and he just breaks down and I think he somewhat passes out.
I will sort of bundle him, his little form.
Who's going to try and
than-
catch that book then?
I'm gonna remember. What? Not me anyway.
I think if Jonan's starting to bundle him up, if the book kind of falls out his hands, Elphdara probably just jump on it.
Cool.
And I am taking Willy to the church, to the sect of Carlos.
So you're not taking the books back?
Not right now. Well, I'm taking him to the church first.
Okay.
It's somewhat en route.
I mean,
No. Church first for me.
because
anyway.
isn't this where your church is? And
Yes.
this is where you are, and that's where you have to hand the books in. It's not really en route at all. It's the other side of the city.
No, to the church immediately.
Okay.
Elphdara is just gonna follow Jonan.
Any particular reason why you are going so heavy in this? Because remember, only he would have seen everything that way. So I just feel like you are maybe edging a bit too close to the meta here.
No, because he's ill, and
He's
well, I
clearly
know-
like paler than we've seen him before. He's been knocked out. He's calling a pamphlet a key and saying he's seen black gates. As much as he's usually insane, like it definitely sounds like he's having hallucinations right now.
like I can put together a poultice for cuts and bruises, but he seems ill
He seems concussed.
from what I can tell,
Like-
from what you've described. And I think living in this city a long time, I would know the priests of the church have somewhat, or do they have healing powers?
Well, he's healed us. That's what Elphdara said. Like he's clearly used the powers of Carlos to heal
Yeah.
her. So she's kind of warmed to Willy.
I know. Carry on, guys. Carry on.
And she takes his religious ramblings a tiny bit more seriously now that she's seen that it can do good.
Yeah, I've got the pamphlet on me. I'm planning on reading it when I get a quiet moment to myself.
If nothing else, Willy, your death might actually have 2 converts.
So yeah, taking him across the town to the church.
Okay. Right, so yeah, unless you want to do anything on the way, it's probably quite slow going because, you know, he's probably not that useful.
No, there's nothing I want to do on the way.
Yep, you just can arrive at the church. It is the Church of Death and Change, I believe you said it was, Willy. That's where you're...
Yes.
Is this a place we can just walk into freely, or do we have to like knock?
No, like, I mean, both the Church of Life and Enduring and Death and Change are open, because a bunch of smaller religions can house their, you know, followers there. You know, like a local church letting the hall out for, like, you know, gaming nights. That idea. Only
Cool.
for smaller religions. And Carlosi is recognised under the Church of Death and Change.
Hearken, priests.
I like bang open the door.
I seek the sect of Carlos.
You're shushed immediately by, like, you know, attendants that are robed and kind of, like, clearly just taking care of the place. As you kind of Aragorn-style double door your way in. Immediately it's just, shh.
Sorry. Where is the Carlos sect? Psst.
As I said, it's not specifically like a room or anything. You would just meet there. Your followers can just be there. As I said, this is essentially the God of Death's house. Just like the God of Life's house is way over the other side.
I'll have a look around for any blue capes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably isn't any. Probably isn't any visible. Like, it's probably not a blue cape day. Like, it's actually probably not that busy at all, to be honest here. It's probably just the attendants that are kind of floating around. And by that I mean wandering aimlessly, not necessarily actually floating.
Elphdara would stop an attendant then
Okay.
and just be like very quietly. She lowers her voice. Have you seen any of the followers of Carlos recently? Blue capes, gold inlay in the capes.
He kind of just like scrunches up his face a little, and then looks you up and down, and looks over at your friend, and kind of like nods in the direction. Goes, beyond that one, no, not recently. They are quite rare.
Listen, our friend, he needs looked at. He's hurt.
He's pretty bad. I think he's having hallucinations. Something about a key, black doors. I don't know. He's not well.
The guy scrunches up his face at that as you say black doors, and he looks at kind of Willy and kind of goes over and grabs like his chin, and holds it really firmly and stares into his eyes and lifts his eyelids up and does that really uncomfortable "I'm examining you" type thing.
Listen,
he kinda-
Elphdara.
And then he lets go of Willy and turns back to Elphdara and kind of looks between Jonan and Elphdara and says, "This one's not long for this world anymore, unfortunately." And kind of just looks kind of sad and solemn.
That's not possible. Who can stop this?
And then he kind of turns around and goes, "No one here."
So where?
And he kind of just gestures outside. Vaguely.
The Life Church? Would they be able to help?
Somebody leans on like an organ in the background, making really ominous music.
Da-da.
But it's just
It's like
someone
the
cleaning the
start of-
keys.
Final Fantasy. Oh,
Goes, "Your friend is not long for this world. Nothing, save death himself, could stop that. I would say your goodbyes."
Elphdara probably like tears up.
I think he hands you like a hanky.
She
Come
blows
on,
her nose-
Elphdara.
She
I
blows her
don't-
nose really loudly.
I don't accept this. It's not over yet.
Maybe you're right, Jonan. I want to believe you.
Perhaps the magic man will know a way. We have completed his task. Let's go.
Elphdara nods solemnly. She blows her nose really loudly again. It's probably making the attendants in the Death Church really kind of side-eye her a little bit.
As I'm leaving, I'll look over my shoulder and say,
This place does not deserve Willy.
and sort of like slam the door
I
on
think
my
the
way
guy,
out.
as you're doing that, like the guy just like cocks his head slightly to the side at the comment, as if, "What?" And then obviously I'll let the audience at home make their own conclusions.
Willy, for you!
As he cocks his head, yeah. And then you slam the door and you head outside. The light's probably starting to hurt your eyes a bit, Willy, as well. It's probably not ideal. But luckily it's getting dark.
I'm gonna run.
Elphdara
I
keeps pace.
Willy is left behind alone.
She-
Like, what?
I think Jonan's carrying
Oh yeah,
Willy.
I'm carrying him in my
I see,
in my
right.
arms.
Yeah.
Oh! But
So who has the fire book? Or have you
That's
given Elphdara all of the books?
I've got all the books, if that makes narrative sense. I'm clutching them tightly in my arms.
Only one of them is still struggling. It's the Blink book.
Yeah, she's jamming them together like
Yeah.
a book sandwich.
Yeah. Obviously the fire book is still hot, but not burny.
Willy,
I'll just like shake him periodically.
His eyes like briefly open and they're like tearful and bloodshot.
come on, buddy. It's not over yet. Hold on there.
In his eyes, he's just holding this key,
Mm-hmm.
and he just keeps looking at it. I guess it looks like he's staring into space. If you guys are staring at his pamphlets, but it's the key he's looking at.
Why don't you read me one of your pamphlets right now till we make it to the castle?
Yeah, I'd be happy to hear the teachings of Carlos.
Come on,
He's
buddy.
silent.
Stay with us.
He wasn't there, and he tosses it. Well, his pamphlets just fall to the ground,
Littering. Oh.
and he passes out again.
Damn it. Come on. We gotta move faster.
Yeah. Let's go.
So where are you heading?
To see the
High
Yeah.
He's a wonderful
The
high
High
enchanter
Enchanter?
of Main City.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're off to see the enchanter.
I think as you run at the like the castle palacey walls, as soon as you like start running towards it, you all just get that weird nauseous corridor feeling again, like you did before. As soon as you actually like go to run through the gates, and then you have to just quickly stop yourselves moving before you hit the door that led to the High Enchanter's room before.
Mm.
And you are back in that corridor. What do you do?
Elphdara, if you could get the door for me, I would appreciate that.
Piled up with all these books.
She kind of, because her arms are full, she just kind of lightly headbutts the door, kind of the same way that Willy did the first time, except not in exasperation, just in my arms are full.
And as you go to like touch the door, you vanish from Jonan's sight.
I guess I'll like do the same.
Yep, and you vanish again, and you both kind of like appear the same kind of way the blink book would have moved into the room. And again, it's that room, big table in front, loads of tall bookshelves, fireplace at the far side. Only this time you've got a first page and the High Enchanter sitting both having tea, as they both like turn round, and the first page stands up very quickly and does like a kind of, again, head tilt and just looks slightly confused at the picture he's looking at. But then as soon as he spots the books, you see his face like kind of relax.
I'm just gonna storm in and like clear the table of the tea and shit like that. And
So the table itself's empty, except it's just they're sat at the far side of that table, like facing a fireplace. So the table's in the middle, and they're at the very far side of the room. So the table, you can like clear off like the candlesticks and whatnot if you want, and dramatically empty the table and dump Willy on it if you want.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'd probably go right up to first page, like just right up to him.
And as
hold out the book.
Jonan's dumping Willy on the table and you start walking towards, the first page is starting to close the distance between the two of you, and he goes, I see yous were successful.
Yeah, we got all three. My friend's not in a good place right now, though. He's hurt.
It seems he's been
He's
in a
hurt
worse
pretty
place.
bad.
And you just see the kind of look kind of almost dismissively at you, and then back to the body, and then he looks and goes, I'll take those, thank you. And he puts his hand out for the pile to help you like alleviate the struggling book.
No, Elphdara, don't give him them.
She clutches them back to her chest.
Excuse me, as like first page turns to Jonan.
I think we need to renegotiate our pay.
And then first page with like a look of like newfound rage, he turns very slowly and looks at you, Elphdara, very kind of deliberately, almost like he's kind of as if, do you agree with this? That's the thing. Look, he's not saying that though.
yeah.
He's just, that's the look of.
Elphdara can kind of read that expression, I think. She just kind of looks up at him and says, I think what Jonan means is that instead of money, would there be anything you can do to help our friend Willy?
I am not here to be threatened. And his eyes, like, he's not even looking at you when he says that, Elphdara, he's just staring directly at Jonan.
I don't think it's a threat, first page. I think he just wants to request. That's all.
I think he thinks it's a threat. And then he turns back to you. I will take the books, thank you. And he puts his hand back out for them.
Listen, I don't think any deal goes down in this city without both parties having their part of it on the table.
Indeed,
Now.
and you represent the Adventurers Guild. They have made their agreement with me. Are you breaking that agreement? And he's still got his hand out for the books.
Elphdara, I can't talk to this damn elf.
And no one's talking to you.
She puts the books in first page's arms.
Excellent. As soon as he takes the books, he then just you just see like a whole bunch of weird kind of magical colours appear from his hand, and symbols and runes, and then they all just fly off to pages, like very, very suddenly. and then it almost feels like, almost like kind of weird chain noises, but you don't see any chains. But they're clearly slammed into bookshelves really, like, possibly more firmly than they would have been normally had he not felt threatened, Almost as if, don't mess with me, I'm a magical elf. And then he kind of turns and looks at Willy and he says, if you wish to forgo monetary recompense, I may be able to persuade the High Enchanter to do something for... And he just kind of waves a hand dismissively at the body of Willy. He's like, but this is not some cheap trick.
I don't expect so.
I expect the High Enchanter would consider you indebted to him. Both of you.
I'm okay with that as long as you can do something for Willy.
Yeah, Jonan will, realising his words always seem to get on the bad side of the elf. He will stay silent, but he will get down on both of his knees, sort of humbly, with his hands sort of on his thighs, and sort of just bow his head down.
Like you hear, like, first page just kind of like scoff. Goes, you can stand up. I'm not some dictator that requires appeasing.
I'll stay down.
And he just kind of like scoffs and turns back around. You can hear him like walk away from you. And he goes over to like the fireplace where like the High Enchanter is clearly like still sitting. And he goes, High Enchanter, and then you hear, "Bruh!" and like the teacup falling. Ah, it's my apprentice. And he goes, no, please, you have guests. And he goes, you just see like this face dart round from the corner of the armchair, and it's just this confused kind of crumbs from a biscuit all in his beard. And he's looking and goes, and they've brought an elf. And he stands up and he dusts himself off from all these crumbs and walks over and goes, first page, why is there a fat child on my table? And he just kind of looks around at all of you for an answer.
High Enchanter, sir. This is my friend Willy. There's something wrong with him. Is there anything you can do? Anything at all to help him? To make him better?
Yes, there is. And you just see him look around the room, and then he goes over to a wall, gets a brush, and then just slowly starts pushing him off the table with the brush.
Please don't do that.
He's on my table.
Where would you like him to be?
Off my table.
Jonan, can you lift him?
He's not food. Or a book.
Yeah. I'll lift him up.
Good.
Now can you help him?
What happened?
We were in a fight with your books. Some of your books.
My books don't fight.
The ones that got away, the missing books.
There's missing books? First page, who have you been giving books to? And you see first page like already like now that pinching the bridge of your nose, staring
I
into
was
the hands.
actually about to say that Elphdara was doing exactly the same.
It's maybe the two elves are doing that exact. You just see the shot from behind the High Enchanter, and it's the two elves framing him in the background, and it's just both of them pinching the bridge of their nose. And it's like, my books have gone missing. Send adventurers to find them.
We did find them, High Enchanter. We found them. They're back with you.
Good. Now what's all this nonsense about missing books?
It doesn't matter. My friend got hurt.
Yes,
he got
I can
hurt
see
real
that.
bad, and he went down. And then when he came to, he was talking about black gates and keys, and we took him to the Church of Death, and they said he's not long for the world, and I don't want him to die.
People die, things die. I know it's a strange concept for an elf, but it happens.
But he's just a fat child. He's got his whole life ahead of him.
Not anymore.
Can you please fix it so that he still does? Isn't there anything you could do?
And you hear like first page kind of step forward, goes, I said you would try, and they would be in your debt. I'm sure that could be of use later, having skilled as he points to Elphdara. Adventurers in your debt. And then the eyebrows, the bushy kind of wild eyebrows kind of go higher up, and then you see I can't...
These are indeed my intentions, High Enchanter.
I would be happy to
Are you
be
still on
your
the
debt
floor?
if it spares his life.
No, I stood up to pick
Alright,
up.
cool. Oh, so you
Um,
did. Sorry, I was going to just have him make a really weird comment if you were still on the floor, but that's fine. It's about how shorter you'd got. But that's fine. And he looks and goes, I do like having favours to call in. You're right, you never know when a friend could be handy.
You know we are trustworthy because we have completed a favor that you have given us.
You hear a tut from from Elphdara. No, you hear a tut from first page as he's just kind of looking to the side. And then the High Enchanter goes, I cannot stop your friend dying. His voice is all over the place just now, bear with me. But if you could find someone powerful enough to resurrect him, I can keep him from passing beyond the Black Gates. And he kind of just like puts his hand out, kind of in that vague, ooh sense.
Elphdara looks at Jonan and says, what do you think? Shall we go on a quest to find someone who is powerful enough to resurrect our friend?
I don't see there is another choice. I allowed our comrade to be felled in combat. I did not take the blow myself that should have fallen upon me.
You okay there, Ross?
I need to interrupt. So I've never like sat and looked at Haley when she's RPing before, but she's got like a total like RP face she puts on, and her whole like her posture changes, and she talks with her hands behind the
I'm
mouth.
really emotive with my
Every-
I
hands.
me
do that
too.
as well.
Yep.
See, when I was firing arrows, I had like a fake bow and arrow.
Yeah.
She had her one hand is like a praying hands, but only one of the hands like up in front of her face, like a martial arts pose when she was talking. She was like being Jonan.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You get
Yeah.
in the mood.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, we're going to go
Sorry.
back in the room and we can discuss all this after the session has
Yeah.
in fact closed. Right, so the High Enchanter kind of looks between the two of you and goes, this won't be well. And he goes to say the word normal. He's like, normal. This won't be. Stand back. Put him on the table. Stand back. It's.
Back on the table.
I oblige.
And he kind of like uses the brush to try and pull him up further on the table a bit, like hooking under his arm and stuff, to drag him kind of more to the middle. And then first page goes, shall I fetch that? And then the High Enchanter just like puts his hand up and a book kind of like gets ripped off one of the bookshelves really quickly into his hand with more competence than anyone thought possible. And he goes, no, I have this. You can go. And then the elf in the background just picks up the teacup, sits it on like the kind of table in between the two chairs that are sat at the fireplace. He goes, very well. And then he kind of looks to both Jonan, down to Willy, and then over to Elphdara and goes, good luck. And then he just vanishes. So, first page is gone, and the High Enchanter's there. Opens this book, kind of flicks through it, and starts muttering away. The more he mutters, the more kind of weird arcane runes pull out of the book and out of him, and then start spinning around the table. They start spinning around super, super fast, and then they start kind of swirling around kind of all of the kind of like limbs and body of Willy. And then slowly you start to see Willy crystallize. And he slowly kind of gets turned into a gemmed, jeweled version of himself. And then that jewel kind of slowly keeps folding into itself again and again and again and again. What colour of jewel would you like to be, Willy?
Powder blue.
Right?
With
And
a
it-
glint of gold in
With
the
a glint of
centre.
gold when you look in the center. Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a tiny little kind of almost like the center of a marble style slash of gold shining away in the center of this kind of very light blue sapphire.
I like to think there's little pink blushes either side of it as well.
That's
It's
that's
a-
still blood. And and then the enchanter, like the table, like is like slowly cracked and broke. And then in the middle of it all, he kind of slams the book shut, and then the jewel flies towards his hand, and he grabs it. And he looks at it. Willy is gone. It's now just this jewel that's left behind. And he goes, "Your friend's soul is trapped in this gem. As soon as you have someone that can restore the flames of life to his body, I would try not to break this until then, though." And then he just kind of like throws it to Jonan. In that really casual, you toss an apple
Roll
to someone.
dex to catch it.
No, you don't have to. I imagine you'll catch it like a boss.
Yeah, I'll just kind of catch it, and I see that it's a necklace, right? Or is it a
No,
gem?
it's
or...
it's just like a kind of big,
Oh,
kind
okay.
of like fist-sized sapphire, and it's got like this kind of nice golden streak in the center of it, like a marble. But the outside of it's all that kind of powdery light blue, like a big blue sapphire. It's probably worth a lot.
We're not selling Willy.
Well, it's really up to Jonan and how much Jonan can damage you.
So I guess I'll turn to Elphdara with the gem, and I'll say,
Elphdara, I feel you are the best to be entrusted with this,
Also, Willy, you can hear all this.
Willy.
You can't reply though, sadly.
Elphdara slowly cups her hands together and raises them towards Jonan and says, "I'll do my best."
High Enchanter.
I'll pull my fist kind of across my body, like with my hand on my heart. I'll say,
Should the need arise, you may call upon us at any time, and I swear by the life that I have led and my soul, I will come to your aid no matter what, no matter where. And should William be returned to us, his body and mind whole, my gratitude
What was that?
will flow like a waterfall.
Willy's thoughts just scream, "It's not William! It's Willy!"
You see the sapphire as that happens, kind of like the gold pulses that bit brighter, and you can clearly see it's like, huh, because it definitely responded as if, obviously, for the audience at home, we know Willy's screaming inside it, but I'm going to read you what happened, right? They cast Soul Gem.
Also,
Just as a heads up, I want this just in here for you guys, for your awareness, because this is like an item now you have. Soul Gem is the spell they cast. You trap the soul of a dying creature within a gem. The trapped creature is aware of its imprisonment and can still be manipulated through spells, parlay, and other effects. All moves against the trapped creature are a +1. You can free the soul at any time, but it can never be recaptured once freed. And I would also like to quickly take this time to just go over the resurrection spell, just because you maybe want to be aware of that as well. It is a
as
level...
long as it's not 13th age.
Oh,
it's fucking crazy, by the way.
it's a level 3 cleric spell, so if you can get someone's cleric to level 3, guys,
We'll have a Willy again.
where there's a Willy, there's a way. Resurrection, resurrection. Tell the GM you would like to resurrect a corpse whose soul has not fully departed this world. Resurrection is always possible, but the GM will give you one or more, possibly all of the following conditions to fulfill. It's going to take days, weeks, months. You'll get help from blank, or you must get help from blank. It will require a lot of money. You must sacrifice a blank to do it. The GM may, depending on the circumstances, allow you to resurrect the corpse now with the understanding that the conditions must be met before it's permanent, or require you to meet the conditions before it's resurrected. I think that's pretty nice, this game, considering it's level 3 magic you get that at. That's pretty good.
Yeah, totally.
So
Well, we forgone for we
when?
didn't. Yeah, for when our payment.
yes, indeed. So I think with that, what I would like to do is, in fact, Balana, and by that I really mean Clare, and by that I really mean Elphdara, what would you like to say in that wee moment.
After Jonan's finished speaking, Elphdara kind of, like, she sort of got the soul gem clenched in one hand, like over her, where her heart is, and then she just kind of points her thumb towards Jonan and says what he said.
And
And that's
then
it.
I think as well, at that point, you hear the hijack go, one moment, and he like pulls the gem away from you both, and then just like waves his hand over it, and then goes, who is looking after this? And he holds it back up between the two of you, and it comes up in that split screen mode where you are both there, and you just have to pick who gets the item.
Jonan said that I should be entrusted with it. Do you stand by that, Jonan?
Yes.
What does Willy have to say about that?
Willy is like, oh, thank God.
That's what you hear from the gem. And then the hijack goes, yes, I've allowed him to also speak from the gem. So here you go. And then he just like throws it like really weirdly, like two-handed cup style, like to you,
Yeah.
like as if it's now more precious because it can speak now.
Elphdara grabs it.
And I think what I'd like to do is cut there because that's mad and I love it. Unless you want to add anything.
No, I'm happy with that.
Where did Elphdara put the gem?
Just
Um,
Elphdara, where did you put Willy?
We all knew it was heading this way. She's got herself a husband.
I'm gonna find a wee pouch for it.
Ooh.
No,
Willy can't really see, right? He can only... Can
you
he?
can hear. You've not got eyes. You're just
He
a soul
just
and a bit
hears
of gem.
like... He hears like cloth and assumes
if
it's
you've
like
got
on a
an-
neck chain
If you want to know what
in
you
the
can
bosom,
do,
and he's like...
you can read the soul gem spell, which is the 9th level wizard spell. If you really want to
Oh
know
jeez.
what you do.
He's just gonna go, oh, it's gonna get good in here, and that's the last thing he says.
Right. So for this, okay, end of session. We've done our alignment stuff, and we've done our marking XP, right? We've technically covered that. Are there any bonds you want to discuss?
How does Willy's XP work?
You can
Is
still
he-
you can still mark everything,
Okay.
because I'll
I'm
let you-
technically not dead yet.
yeah, because narratively, you may see that death gave you like a day, gave you the rest of the day to sort your affairs out, and then your mates chucked you in a gem.
Well, I think could have fulfilled my alignment and endangered myself, following the precepts of my church or god.
Yeah, I'd say so. You can mark XP for that.
I'd also say that your bond with me,
Yeah.
maybe, because
What
once
was
you
the bond?
healed Elf,
Elphdara has insulted my deity. I do not trust him.
I'd say it would be more from your point of view, though, Claire. Like, you're the one that's changed your opinion. He might still not trust you, you know?
yeah.
So
I have
it's-
made him
think-
aware of it because
Yeah.
once he healed me, I was like, oh.
I
And then
think,
obviously there was all that chat of, yeah, I'd love to hear about your
Mhm.
god.
I think the only thing I could really say is that Willy definitely now finds friendship and trust in Jonan and Elphdara because of this.
I mean, yeah, definitely, right? They basically threatened, obviously as the first page saw it, the people charged with keeping the city magically safe. And they said, okay, we don't want the money, just fix our friend, please. That's pretty decent.
We will be indebted to you for life. Just fix this.
Yeah, not
I
to
think,
mention the life debt.
I think aside the deity, Willy now for sure trusts Jonan and Elphdara.
Yeah, I'd actually say you could probably mark off that bond then.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would think
because
so.
you trust me now.
Yep. Obviously this is total jank because you're dead, right? So yeah.
Kind of.
Kinda dead.
Everyone just prepare themselves for this, okay?
Oh yeah,
And-
like brace yourself because this will happen every time you die, right? Or go to 0.
Oh
as
no,
well.
no. If you did this on purpose, Ryan, then like God bless you as a DM, right? But Willy is soft, but I will make them hard.
Yes!
I would argue that crystallizing a character is possibly the hardest he could possibly be in a condensed form. So
You could almost say it worked out perfectly, couldn't you?
I love it.
Now, let me just review the exact wording of it though.
through my actions as well.
It says
Was-
hard
he
like
was struck
me though.
down.
So I mean,
Where's hard?
are you saying you're diamond hard or
Yeah,
sapphire
yeah.
hard?
I
that-
think
that's
it
gonna
will.
be my
Do you know?
punchline.
I'm actually going to
that
just
one.
let you go with that because he.
I'm diamond hard.
But like, I'd say the fact that you made that moment of, no, you, like, I won't defend you. I won't step in. You can take that hit. That's on you.
That's what I was about to bring up.
No, that's fine. You can mark that off as well. Okay,
I
yourself
haven't
XP.
helped an animal or a spirit of the wild.
No.
Unless you want to call either of my friends a spirit of the wild or an animal.
Not yet.
but
Not until
I
the
would
resurrection
do
gets
that.
botched.
He's a squirrel now.
Yeah, but a
No.
squirrel of
Back
Carlos,
is
eh?
into it.
Oh, actually, I might even have a thing for that. I'll send it
He
to
has-
you later, Ross.
He has a little mini blue cape, little
Yeah.
mini
Yeah,
blue
like the
cloak.
flying squirrels in Suikoden.
So anyway, what else are we doing in terms of XP? Anything else to cover?
Discovered
I took-
something
I
new
took
and all
note.
those kind of.
What's my
general-
alignment?
Oh,
That's
all
my
that
alignment.
stuff. Yeah.
I would say
Um,
you've
I
looted a
took-
memorable treasure. You can everybody can mark XP for that. That memorable treasure is currently Willy.
You're such a wee treasure.
I would say you've overcome a notable enemy. And I would say you probably have learned something new about the world. You now know that people can be put into gems and sometimes people can be brought back from guaranteed death.
Excellent.
I'd say that cover. I mean, that's quite a lot to take in, right? What's everybody's XP totals?
13.
Mine is at 8.
11.
Okay. Obviously, it only really counts, really, if you actually come back. Like, so you don't get to level up to 2
Yeah.
until you're actually back.
Well, I would be on 12. I did the notes.
Kind of resting.
Yeah,
I'm
if you did the
on
notes, you also mark XP.
I'm on 12 then.
But
Because I didn't fudge any rolls today.
yeah, you did quite
It's
well,
fine.
to be honest, despite going down.
Yeah.
But this is it. As I said, I don't intend to pull punches with this system, but I like narrative exchange, as you have probably experienced. I think it's definitely more interesting when we actually get to exchange narrative. Right, anything else to add, or are we good actually closing the first one-shot at part 3?
The one-shot trilogy.
Yes.
The one-shot trilogy.
You mean that's
part
led
1.
on to, like, yeah, the follow-up of the resurrection of Willy Williams?
Well, I feel like
That could become a quest on its own.
It has
Yeah,
to
it's
be,
gotta
right?
be. We have to post that quest, and adventurers will come and help
Yeah.
us.
you know what I love about it as well, though, is that Elphdara and Jonan haven't resolved their bond, and they're kind of bound together, and we have to get Willy back.
Mhm.
And I love that.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
Do you two actually want to make that a bond?
Oh yeah. Why don't
Yeah.
we? Because like I don't have one anymore.
Why don't you both have that then, right? You can both have that. And it's
A new bond.
have it as the same wording, of course, though. So
Do you want to type it up in the game chat, Claire, and I'll just copy it over.
What do you want me to write?
So
vowed to resurrect Willy Williams, I guess
well,
is the
you
best one.
you put my name in and I'll swap it so that it says your name and mine. So yeah, like me. Oh,
So-
something and myself
Remember at the start,
have
Ross,
sworn
when you said,
to
I really like Willy,
resurrect.
I hope he doesn't die,
Mhm.
and then you literally just jinxed.
I'll just put in like a wee blank space and write.
Yeah.
It was literally
So-
dead on as well, no pun intended,
If-
the value of their health.
This conversation probably wait, but I'll just ask now anyway. If obviously if that becomes a new quest, would I be able to make another adventurer that could join in on that quest?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it shouldn't be a cleric though.
Oh, what? You mean Billy Billiams can't join of the Carlosi sect?
You could make a paladin of Carlosi.
Paladin would be really useful.
Oh man, a really tall,
Honestly,
like,
you can make
handsome
anything, but
human.
I would be a bit remiss for people to meta in future quests. So hence why things like making clerics, etc., going forward might be a bit iffy. But
No, I
you
would
can
make.
make a
I
like
think
you now need to continue in the world of Tales of Triumph. You need to make a new character.
Right. Okay. Okay. I
But
can.
we'll do
hit
that in
you
a
up with that
second.
tomorrow.
Give me
this
2
doesn't
seconds.
need to be resolved like starting next session. Like me
definitely
and
does not.
Elphdara
That is now-
would
that's-
have to search to make a living for ourselves in between looking for this powerful
Oh yeah.
cleric.
Plus, I mean, realistically, I'd rather it was a player character that was this cleric. Quite frankly.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
it'd be way more interesting.
Well, I'm making a cleric, not next, but at some point.
Mhm.
I think it's my third on the list because I've got a dwarf I want to do before I do my.
Unless there's anything else to add, are we good here?
Good shit.
Yep.
We get you.
Yeah, that was excellent. I really enjoyed that first quest, late fees. And goodbye, everybody. Like and subscribe, as the kids say, and also
Smash
Nicholas
that
Cage.
like
Smash that like button.
Nicholas Cage,
Ciao.
I expect to subscribe. Goodbye.